got a ice on music facility. Fathers came in off a hunt. Yeah, my niggas still tripping for fun.
What's up, y'all? So this one's gonna be a little different. This one's gonna be a story time. Okay, so this happened after me and my boyfriend at the time, and his brother fought. We were fighting a case and we beat this case, but that's a totally different story that I can't really get into because the case is not closed yet. But well, it is closed, it's dismissed, but you know the DAs can still file. I think like they can file on you for up to like 7 years or some shit like that. It's only been 4. So my ex had just gotten locked up again for different separate things because out there in Roseville these fucking cops would like harass the fuck out of us. But anyways, so they tried to charge him with some crazy charges, but they ended up getting dismissed. Well, they tried to charge him with intent to sell marijuana. Like, what the fuck? Weed was already legal by this time, okay? And then so they took him to jail, but I bailed him out, and then we went back to court and it got dismissed. They didn't even want to present it in court because it was that stupid. But because I had told the cop that the weed was mine and they charged him for it, which dumb. But anyways, that's a different story that I'll get into later. But this one's about when my car got stolen and the cops were not looking for it and we got it back. When they had arrested my ex, they towed his car because it was his car, and they took my money. He had $1,000 that I had just cashed my check, and I wouldn't carry a purse around that time, so I would put everything in his wallet. So it's because he had cash money, because I didn't have a bank account. He had cash money, $1,000, and he had weed, different types of weed in different bags, which was mine. Like I said, everything was mine. They arrested him and they towed his car, and then when we wanted to get the car out, it was already too much money, then more than what the car was worth, so we were just like, fuck it. So the day that we got our car, that I had just gotten, because they were trying to asset forfeit my money, and we ended up filing so I could get my money back. And that day I had gotten my money back, so I went to the DA's office to get my check. And so we're excited because we got our check back, and we had just bought this car too. So when we went to go buy this car, it was the XG300, a Hyundai. The girls that I bought it from, they were acting hella sketchy, and the plates, they were from Ohio, I believe. So my ex, he had just gotten out of prison from doing 11 years. He was like sketched out about this whole thing, and he didn't want to register it, so we only had the pink slip. So he ended up putting the pink slip in the glove compartment, locked it, whatever, it was there. Okay, so then the day that we got our check back, we go to the pick and pull, and mind you, this pick and pull, it was sketchy. So, but in the car that we had just bought, you had to, the trunk button didn't work, so you had to open the car with the keys. So he opens the trunk, because that's where we have all our tools, and we have to, you do your own shit at the pick and pull. So he happened to leave the key stuck on the trunk. So we go inside, and then as we go inside, I remember seeing this couple that they look like tweakers. So I remember looking at them and I'm like, damn, they look like tweakers. It was a white lady and a white guy. So we keep walking, whatever, and because I was falling behind, so that's why I ended up like scoping these people out. And then it was hot that day, so I'm like, hey, can I get some napkins? Because I was already starting to sweat. And he's like, oh, I don't have them here, go get them. And so I'm like, okay, let me get the keys. So he starts looking for the keys, and he doesn't have the keys, and I'm like, fuck. So when he says that, in my head, I'm like, fuck, if anybody found those keys, that car's already gone. Because mind you, this place is fucking sketchy. Well, the people that go there are sketchy. And then so I go up front and I go and look for my car, and I see where it was parked at, and I don't see it, and I'm like, fuck. So me in my head, I'm like, fuck, maybe I'm tripping, maybe we didn't park there. Okay, maybe we parked on the other side, because we had gone over there to park first, and then we came on this side to park, and that's where we ended up parking. So I go knowing it's not there, and I'm just like, fuck. So I call him and I'm like, hey, the car's not here. And the people that were outside, they're like, oh, they told me who it was, which it was the white guy and the white lady that I had seen. So then, which they were in their 20s, and then, so then when I called the cops and to report my car stolen, and they're like, well, do you have the pink slip? And I'm like, well, no, I don't. The pink slip's in the glove compartment. So I'm like, no, I don't. And they're like, well, we can't look for your car if you don't have a pink slip, because you might just be calling for one of your friends that you have a problem with or something. And I'm like, oh my god. So I was so mad. The cops were looking for my fucking car, and it was just gone. And there was a car that we weren't gonna get back. So with the $1,000, the check that I had gotten from the DA, we ended up buying a car that same night, because I needed a car because I was working. So, and I ended up getting this Buick. It was beautiful. Like, I loved my Buick, which it got towed because I didn't get plates for it. I did have it for like a year though. But anyways, so, and then the people that had taken care of that, the people that were the original owners of that car, they had taken care, like really good care of this car. So it was beautiful. It was like a 1998 Buick LeSabre. Oh my god, I love that car. But anyways, so I'm so mad, and I'm crying and crying and crying because they're not, and my ex is like, that car was a piece of shit anyways. And I'm like, that's not the fucking point. I had just bought that car. And so then I tell him, I'm like, well, whatever. I'm like, just keep a lookout on Craigslist and on OfferUp, because I remember seeing them and they look like tweakers. They look like straight up tweakers. So they're gonna try to they're gonna try to sell that fucking car because they obviously have the pink slip. So few days go by, and like I said, there was a car that was posted on OfferUp that didn't have the original pictures. It just had they had posted pictures from off the internet of the car, like just random pictures, and they had the description of my car, like, because they had low mileage, so, and they were only trying to get like 1,000 for it. And so then I was like, you want me to hit him up? And I'm like, yes, send him a message and act like we're trying to buy that fucking car. So that's what we do. And then, so they're messaging, it's a guy, it was the guy. So the guy's messaging us back, and he's like, oh, I'm in this area, you know. And I'm like, tell him that we're out eating and that we'll be in his area in a little bit. But while we were telling him this, we were already going to the area where he said he was. So then when we get there, we look around, we don't see the fucking car. And then we're like, or we tell him, hey, we're done eating, where do you want us to meet you? So he's like, meet me at the Burger King, at this Burger King, it was down the street from where he said that, the place, wherever he was at. So we go to the Burger King and we circle it, we don't see the car, and we're like, whatever, let's just go home. So we go out to the street to, and it's a life to turn to go home. And my god, my ex, mind you, my glasses had broken, so I was fucking blind at this time, so I couldn't see. And he's like, oh, there's the car. And I'm like, what? Which one? He's like, that one right there. And then he's like, wait for it to pass to see if it has our plates. And it passes, and our plates. So this guy pulls into the shopping center, and then so we go and we pull into the shopping center, and we find our car, and we pull up, we pull up in front of the car, or behind the car, so it can't come out. And we're just sitting there because the guy wasn't there. The windows were down and the guy wasn't there. So we're just sitting there and we're just looking around. It was a bank that was right there. So the guy is at the bank, and it was crazy. Like this incident was fucking insane, because mind you, I don't really know what this guy looks like, and he doesn't know who the owner of the car is. So then we're looking around, and there's a guy that starts walking towards like the car. And it was crazy because like at the same time that it registered in our head that this is the guy that stole our car, it registered in his head that this is the people that own this car. So, oh my god, the dude turns around and starts running, and me and my ex, we both fucking hop out of the car, and we start chasing this guy, and I'm so mad. I'm like, fuck you, motherfucker, where's my fucking keys? And then I remember, fuck, I need to go back and get the car because the Buick was just there, just fucking on. And mind you, it was probably like 2 in the afternoon. This was crazy. So then I go back, and then I have to fucking call the cops because it's fucking Roseville. So then the cops come, and since I still, I don't have a pink slip, they're like, well, we can't release the car to you. And I'm like, fuck. But mind you, this car was not reported stolen. It was because obviously they couldn't fucking look for it because I didn't have the pink slip. And so nobody was gonna claim it, so they just left it parked there in the shopping center, and that was it. So I'm like, fuck. So my ex is like, they're probably not gonna fucking get it. He's like, that car's not gonna get towed till the shopping center notices that it's an abandoned car, and then that's when they're gonna tow it because it's not reported stolen. And I'm like, you're right. So we wait a few hours. Oh no, I think to the next day. We wait the next day, and the next day we go with the fucking locksmith, and we got our car back. Isn't that fucking insane? Like, what are the fucking odds? Like, I was so mind blown because I was like, damn, what are the fucking odds of us really getting this car back? Like, I was so, like I said, mind blown. It was a cool time. That was a cool incident. I got my car back, and then I have the other Buick now. So yeah, now I got 2 motherfucking cars, bitch. And so yeah, that was the end of that story. Yeah, that's what happened. Isn't that crazy? I still think about it, and I'm like, damn, I can't believe I went through that. That's fucking insane. Oh, and another thing, like how in sync me and my ex were, like when we used to get into like shit like that. It was dope. Like, we would just both react like how we had to. Like, it was crazy. It was because it's a reaction. You don't really think about it before you do it. You just react, and every single time our reactions were on fucking point. Like, it was cool. It was cool. I could dig it. But anyways, so yeah, that was the end of that story. Let me know if you guys liked it. Let me know if you guys want to hear another crazy ass story, because I got a lot of those. I really do got a lot of those. Shit that you wouldn't think I go through, and I'm just like, damn, that's just crazy. People wouldn't even believe me. Like, that's a crazy story. What the fuck? How, bitch, how? Like, bitch, you didn't get your car back. Yes, bitch, I did. I sure did. Okay. Oh, and then another thing, guys. Oh my god, this guy was working at this Burger King that he had told us to meet him at. This guy was driving my car every day like if it was his fucking car. And he fucking and this, guys, when he was trying to sell us the car, this dude was on the clock. Okay, he was working. They had sent him because he had like some stuff in the car when we found it. Well, when he like abandoned it, from like a Burger King, and it was like a bunch of it, like, and then and he had left his work shirt in there too. And so I called the Burger King where he had told us to meet him at, and I'm like, hey, because the name tag, and I'm like, what's his name here? And they're like, oh no, he went to do something, he'll be back. And I'm like, well, he stole my car's right here, and all you guys' stuff is in my car. And they ended up coming to get the Burger King, the people from the Burger, I think it was the manager ended up coming to get the box. It's crazy, y'all. Like, this dude, can you believe it? And that just goes to show that I was right, that dude was a tweaker. Because, like, what type of other person that's not under the influence of something would do some dumb shit like that, Anyways, yeah, but like I said, let me know if you guys want to hear another story. Thank you for listening to my story, and thank you for everybody that watches my videos. That's cool. That's what's up, y'all. Y'all the real MVPs. Alright, thanks.